This landscape and the light. It goes without saying that famous painters were attracted here. And the sea, what a deep blue.
1, 2, 3.
The coast of Provence with the Côte Bleue between Marseille and Martigues simply makes you happy.
Ça fait vif.
This stretch of coast in the south of France is nowhere near as famous as the Côte d'Azur, but that's what makes the Blue Coast so exciting. Marseille is the second largest city in France and the most important port city of the country. A melting pot of cultures. West of Marseille, just outside the city gates, the Côte Bleue begins. Here, city dwellers can relax from the urban hustle and bustle. Cheerful on the way to the abyss. Lionel Franck and his junior jumpers prepare a training session on the cliffs near Cassis.
Did everyone bring their swimsuits?
Here everyone calls him Loulou. He's the star among the French cliff divers. But after a serious traffic accident a year ago, he can only give training lessons at the moment.
In the flight phase, you have to keep it stable. It's very difficult for me not to jump. I suffer. But to train here with the kids, that makes me very happy.
In 2020, Loulou made a header from 36 meters, world record.
Now it's your turn. In the 1950s, the boys from Marseille proved that they were men this way. Here, boys become men. They turn from youth to adult. They made about 13 meters and said afterwards, "Now I'm a man. That's part of our culture." Okay, spread your arms.
Already as a child, Loulou jumped off the cliffs here. Many girls and boys have started plongeon de haute vol only because of their idol. Everyone is happy to learn from Loulou. It's cool, he says.
Really nice of you. Now, let's go.
Strength, body tension, concentration, everything must be right before the jump into the depth. To cop out is not a defeat in cliff diving.
It's fine. It's good you're not jumping. Don't force anything. Over-motivation is very bad.
Loulou also needed several attempts for his record.
And close. Very good. Super.
Done. Loulou has to move on. A beginner and a professional jumper are waiting for the coach at the harbour. Limestone cliffs frame fjord-like coastal inlets. The Calanque between Cassis and Marseille. They give the coast of Provence its dramatic character. From Marseille to the small port town of Martigues stretches a strip of coastline named after the vibrant color of the Mediterranean Sea here. Côte Bleue, Blue Coast. In the south of France, the game with the clicking balls is a popular sport. Boule, in the region around Marseille called pétanque. Amby Andriane Caraglievelo played as a teenager in the national team of Madagascar, her home country. Today, her name can be found on the lists of France's major tournaments.
For me, it's absolute passion. Yes, it's a sport, but for me, it's also my yoga. After 4 or 5 games, I'm absolutely balanced. Important for my concentration. Pétanque helps me find my inner balance.
Last training session with her husband Vincent before the next tournament. Amby comes from a real pétanque family. Her father was the president of the Madagascar Boule Federation.
Amby,
Claire, Michel.
Everyone here is eager to compete with Amby.
It's an honor to play with you.
The pétanque scene is still dominated by men. It's important that we women fight a little to find our place.
We definitely have more and more women playing.
Amby needs new balls for the upcoming tournament. She knows that the ground there is similarly demanding as here.
I always adapt my playing style to the respective surface. Sometimes the ground is softer, sometimes harder. This course is very hard. And my balls here have a tendency to roll very far, too far.
Just outside Marseille lies the cradle of pétanque, a variation of the original game of boule. At the beginning of the 20th century, there were very special traditions playing pétanque. Whoever lost 13-0 had to kiss the buttocks of the waitress Fanny. In Marseille, balls made of wood were sold, studded with nails. In 1904, Félix Rofrich opened his boule store. In this way, the captain from Alsace also escaped German military service at the same time. His great-grandson, Hervé Rofrich, now helps Amby find the perfect ball set.
Would you rather change the diameter or the weight?
The weight.
Ah, the weight.
I'll stick with the 71, but a little lighter.
Hervé ships the stainless steel balls from the factory in Marseille all over the world. His grandfather is considered the inventor of the distinctive ball patterns. The grooves serve to distinguish them, but also determine the rolling and throwing behavior for pétanque professionals.
Yes, we pay attention to them. You're attached to them. Every player has a personal relationship. These were the balls with which I won this or that tournament. With this ball, I blew it or became French champion. Those balls are sacred.
Normally it takes 4 to 5 days to make the balls, but Amby is not just any old customer. In the west of the Côte Bleue, large ships come further inland via the Canal de Charente. Past the port city of Martigues, also known as the Venice of Provence. Instead of cars, boats park in front of the shops here. In front of Martigues lies a huge lagoon landscape, the Étang de Berre. To the west of it is the Mediterranean Sea, both connected by the Canal de Charente. A very special railroad bridge crosses it, the Pont de Charente. The historic swing bridge is the logistical bottleneck of the region, and for the past 11 years it has been the workplace of Michel Bouard, an employee of the SNCF Railroad Company. His father and grandfather were already proud cheminots, railroad workers.
I spent my whole childhood here on the shore. I was hunting here, bathing, swimming, fishing. Wonderful. This is the picture book charm of Martigues, with all the anglers, the boats, and of course, the sea.
All anglers here have known him for a long time, despite the 23-meter difference in altitude.
How's it going?
Ça marche, chef.
Caught something?
Vous avez pris quelque chose? 3.
3?
Bien.
Good.
Courage. Ça va,
Good
un
luck.
peu. Sûrement.
The Pont de 40 is literally the hub of an elaborate traffic system. When a ship has registered, Michel has to open the bridge once a day at 3:26 p.m. sharp.
Non, je t'en prie, il n'y a pas de malaise.
I'm registering.
Bien sûr. Non, mais il te faut l'autorisation, il n'y a aucun problème. Monsieur Bouard.
Monsieur Bouard,
à
Martigues.
puis-je ouvrir le
That's
pont
right.
À 14h27.
I'll wait for your call back. Or I'll call back later.
J'attends
No
ton
problem.
appel pour, quand c'est bon. OK. Et de temps en temps, on voit avec le régule au cas où je t'appellerai. OK. Ouais. Ça fait partie du patrimoine, en fait.
The bridge is a part of our cultural heritage, a landmark, like the Eiffel Tower in Paris. To work here on such a monument is very special. I'm really proud of it.
Voilà, de travailler dans ce lieu, c'est vraiment quelque chose d'honorifique pour moi.
Now he has to wait for the freight train from Martigues to Marseille. Once it has passed through, Michel can turn the bridge by 90 degrees and thus clear the passage through the canal. His job as a bridge attendant was a childhood dream come true for Michel. Even back then, he really wanted to work up there in the cabin one day.
I never thought that one day I would actually end up here. And now I've made it. Unbelievable.
C'est juste extraordinaire.
The train's delay threatens to jeopardize Michel's schedule. A ship has registered, and it can't wait. East of the Côte Bleue, the limestone cliffs of the Calanque tower up to 362 meters above the Mediterranean Sea, France's highest cliffs. The 20-kilometer-long massif has been a national park since 2012. In the past, the rock was used to build roads, and even for the base of the Statue of Liberty in New York. In a small bay lies the port of Cassis. In the middle of it, Loulou's boat. The famous cliff diver wants to help Léona Lutz and Christophe Girardin break their personal records.
I have a blast accompanying and mentoring the others.
Pour plonger ou prendre du plaisir moi aussi pour plonger.
Of course, I would love to jump with them. It's like a drug.
C'est une drogue.
Léona only recently joined the cliff divers.
I met Loulou this summer and was amazed at how far up he jumps from. And he explained to me that you don't necessarily hurt yourself more from high up if you jump well.
The water is cold. Probably not more than 18 degrees. Pretty fresh, anyway. The key is to find the perfect jumping off point with a nice deep dip underneath. Léona is the first to go. Loulou goes through everything with her again in detail. She wants to increase her personal record by 3 meters today, from 9 to 12.
When jumping from great heights, diving in head first is a danger for women because of their chest. But when it comes to high jumps feet first, Women are all over it. Fascinating how they jump. Highly elegant, very dynamic. They can do absolutely the same physical performance there as men.
Et physiquement, elles ont toutes les capacités pour faire exactement ce que font les hommes.
If you want to get down elegantly, you first have to get up with a lot of effort. Climbing is simply part of cliff diving.
The sun's already shining up here.
Cliff diving is mainly decided in the head. Loulou keeps inculcating that in his group.
Okay, here we go. Remember, jump off, hold the tension, stabilize with your arms, and then just before diving in, close your arms.
Stabilisation, et juste avant l'entrée dans l'eau, tu resserres les bras, ok?
I was already here on Tuesday with my father, and I wanted to jump the 12 meters. He said, "No way, that's insane. If Loulou doesn't watch out below, you don't jump." And then I wanted to do my 9 meters. He said, "No, that's crazy too." So I did the 9, but Dad forbade the 12.
Loulou secures the immersion point at the bottom.
Concentrate, Leona. You'll manage. Dance.
Ça fait bim bam.
Où est-ce que t'es arrivé comme ça?
Very good.
Quasiment.
12 meters. Leona's success is also Loulou's success.
Puis là, je suis fier de Léona.
I'm really very proud of Leona. In a very short time, she's improved her technique enormously and jumped the 12 meters without hurting herself.
I'm very pleased. This is real progress.
Honestly, of all your jumps, it was the most beautiful.
Christophe is just warming up for now. Later, he also wants to challenge his personal record. Right in the center of Marseille lies the Vieux Port, the old harbor. Around 600 BC, Greek merchants and sailors founded a settlement at the bay and named it Massalia. Until the middle of the 19th century, this port was France's gateway to the Mediterranean and overseas colonies. Hervé Roffritsch's factory is located on the outskirts of what is now a city of millions. Amby gets to look over his shoulder at the birth of her new tournament balls that have been customized for her.
Do you want your name on it?
Would it fit?
Say again. That would go once around the whole ball. The machine actually only does up to 27 letters. It's too long, and you'd also have too much sand between your fingers.
Amby nimmt Soa Andrian Kaya Rivelo. Nice name, but simply too long for a boule ball.
I actually have 28 letters in my name. It never fits.
The M and the A.
At Hervé's, everything is still handmade, almost like when the factory was founded in 1904.
Oh no, I forgot the second heart. Stupid me. See, I was distracted.
Tu vois, je me concentrais sur autre chose. Non, mais c'est moche. Bon, allez.
But that's all right. You're a perfectionist.
Voilà.
There you go. Heart, Amby, heart.
Tu as rajouté le cœur.
The balls are now made of around 700 grams of carbon steel and can only be machined when soft. They only contract in the special oven, 30 minutes at 840 degrees.
Nice and hot here.
I'm used to that. I come from a hot country.
Still, a pizza is ready in seconds here.
The cold salt water bath hardens the play equipment and gives the balls a bluish glow for a short time. Hence the name Boule Bleue.
Look at this.
Beautiful.
Envie with the little hearts.
So beautiful. Perfect, the weight. The diameter 71. 680.
Nickel. Et tu as vu?
And feel them, they're still a little warm. Nice, right? Ready to play.
Prêt à jouer.
Great, thank you.
Voilà, madame.
I wish you a successful game of boule.
Je te souhaite de bonnes parties de boules
Je suis contente.
et pleine de famille.
Show them what you've got.
Que tu mettes pleine de famille. Ciao. À la prochaine.
Off to the tournament with customized balls. The Côte Bleue is the little sister of the Côte d'Azur, less developed, not as sophisticated, and not as crowded. In general, everything is a little different on this stretch of coast in Provence. This fisherman catches fish only to order and ships them alive.
I look at the list before I go down. I kind of do my shopping down there. And I only pick up what's ordered. And if there's too much, I release it again.
Gérard Carodano has been doing this for 30 years on behalf of aquariums and aquarists all over the world. His son and grandson are now also involved. Gérard used to be a professional fisherman, killing his catch like everyone else and freezing it. He was never really happy with it.
I've chosen to deal with the marine ecosystem as well as possible. That means I take as little as possible, which makes it tremendous value. It's enough to make a living, and so I don't have to do traditional fishing anymore. That's one less traditional fisherman.
His territory is around the lighthouse of La Cassidin. He knows every stone on the seabed here. Gérard catches the fish with a net that is firmly anchored at a depth of 40 meters. The animals are placed in large bottles, which are then pulled towards the water surface meter by meter. This is similar to decompression, as in diving. Otherwise, the fish would suffer. Gérard's order list also includes an octopus, for which he has to dive close to the lighthouse, where the water is shallower. He knows exactly where the octopuses are hiding. An aquarium in Germany has ordered the octopus. The Thalassoma pavo, the ornate wrasse, is a lucrative lucky catch for Gérard.
This is an immigrant species. it doesn't really belong here in our part of the Mediterranean. A tropical fish that penetrated over the last 30 years further and further to us. This way, I'll make €100. If it ends up in the soup, it only gets me a few cents. And besides, they're much too beautiful to end up in the soup.
In the diving base, the animals are now quickly transferred to large tanks. There, they are supplied with oxygen and then prepared for shipment. At Martigues, on the Pont de Caronte, Michel continues to look out for the freight train. Finally, because at 3:26 p.m. on the dot, he has to turn the bridge for the cargo ship. The only thing missing is the all clear from headquarters. But the colleagues do not seem to be in a hurry. Michel also tries it via radio.
Call me back, please. Thank you.
3:21 p.m. Only 5 minutes left. Even the most experienced bridge attendant gets nervous now.
Oui, Jean-Noël.
Yes?
Je t'en prie.
You're welcome.
D'accord.
Monsieur Bouard, the 78 for the 82.
78 pour le 82.
At the end of the Second World War, the German troops had destroyed the Pont de Caronte during their withdrawal. The mechanical safety systems date from the 1950s. That's when the bridge was rebuilt. Only the computer is from modern times. It controls the 2 electric motors. The passage is 50 meters wide, and the current treacherous. 2 years ago, a large freighter almost hit a bridge pier. The captain was able to drop anchor just in time.
That moment was really awkward. I'm trapped up here on the bridge after all. And you've got a lot of things going on in your head. A freighter with dangerous cargo.
One mistake and the bridge would be destroyed again, putting the region's logistics at risk. A lot of responsibility. Nevertheless, Michel enjoys every moment of the 5 minutes and 7 seconds of turning time.
Ideally, I would like to do this forever. But everything keeps spinning, and the future of the bridge? Will it continue to be manned or one day automated? In any case, I'm proud to keep doing the job for as long as I can.
First of all, Michel continues to rotate with the bridge every day at exactly 3:26 p.m. Further east, in the port city of La Ciotat, Girard goes through his orders. Small, colorful fish are available from €10. An octopus costs around €80 depending on size. Girard's son coordinates shipping. In addition to large aquariums, the Caradano family also supplies private individuals around the world.
The Calmar wants to see if there's anything to eat around here.
The octopus is supposed to be shipped today, but first Girard has to make friends with the animal.
Now it's slowly gaining confidence. Well, the truth is, it wants to eat, but it tests you, starts to like you. Then it retreats, comes back. Anyway, it gets used to human contact.
Without the trust of the sea dweller, shipping is impossible. If the octopus feels threatened during packaging or in the transport container, it spills its ink and poisons itself.
It doesn't want to.
The crew can have lunch. Gérard no longer earns as much as he did in the fishing industry, but that doesn't matter. Even his former colleagues think so.
A friend once said, Gérard, there are people who are rich, and there are people who have a rich life. You have a rich life. I don't give a damn about my bank balance. True wealth is living your passion.
Right next door, luxury yachts are built and repaired. Tuna steaks, a glass of wine, 4 generations at one table. That's all the Caradanos need. And after the extensive lunch break, the octopus is also cooperative. Gérard sends the animals by express and airmail. It has to be fast. The sea creatures should be on the way for as short a time as possible. From fisherman to aquarium supplier, many an animal rights activist also takes a critical view of Gérard's new business, but he sees himself as a preserver of nature.
I know it's going to be fine. It's going to be taken care of. It's not going to be eaten by a moray eel like other squid out there in the wild. And it'll have a much longer life than it would in the wild. Now it can travel safely.
Fragile and alive, the octopus is air freighted to Germany. Painters have always been drawn to the light in France's south. They all found inspiration in the deep blue of the coast. Pierre-Auguste Renoir, Paul Cézanne, August Macke, Pablo Picasso, and Georges Braque. His painting, The Houses in L'Étasque, founded Cubism. Thus, the Côte Bleue became an important place in the history of art. In the old Marseille harbour, John Pendray gets ideas for new paintings. He too is a painter, commissioned by the French Navy.
Let me introduce myself. I'm an official painter of the French Navy, and I'm especially very interested in classic yachts like this one.
You can't imagine what this boat looked like when it was derelict in the yard.
Splendid.
Born in England, John Pendray moved from London to Marseille 40 years ago for love, and in 2001 he was inducted into the exclusive officer corps of the Peintre Officiel de la Marine, a great honor.
Somebody had told me when I was a little art master in a school, where I was also responsible for sailing, that I would end up being a captain of corvettes in the French Navy. At the age of 84, I would have said, "You're mad."
Together with his wife Michelle, John lives in the old town of Marseille. Today, he has to check if his uniform still fits, because a bigger reception is coming up soon.
Parfait.
John has the rank of a corvette captain, but he never really got used to the military on ships.
I decided to go down to the wardroom dressed in blue, to find everybody in white. So I said, "Why are you in white?" They said, "Because it's Sunday." So the official painter finds the rules as he goes along, but the French Navy are very kind, and they know we're a bit puzzled sometimes.
Since 1830, the French Navy has engaged the Peintre Officiel de la Marine. They are appointed for life. John was still assigned to paint on Navy ships until he was 80 years old. Much prestige, no fee but fascinating trips across the oceans, much to the delight of his wife.
I'm most pleased that he's an official marine painter because it has given me very nice trips. I have followed my husband to very beautiful corners of the world. For example, to St. Petersburg. We were there for a week with the Navy, but also to other beautiful places.
In his studio right next door, John also paints other commissioned works. Even state presidents have ordered works from him. At some point, John stopped counting his pictures, but he certainly has rituals.
When I go to paint the sea, I have 1 or 2 glasses of wine beforehand to liberate myself. And I mix up a lot of paint and I go in. But if you go into painting the sea, as they say in French, coincé, it won't work. You have to feel it, you have to dive into it. When I voyage with the Navy, I quite often spend a lot of time just looking at the sea. Perhaps the crew thinks that the official painter is doing no work, but he is, because when you watch the sea and study and question what are you seeing and why is it like that, you can then begin to paint the sea.
John's neighborhood is home to many artists. Mr. Ferrol comes by to see how John is doing.
I'm working on a ship. I'm painting the sky, and now I finally have the courage to tackle the sea as well. And what are you painting right now?
And just like John Pendray, Mr. Ferrol paints all kinds of commissioned works. But enough chatting. John has to get on with his work. The French state has declared the collected works of the marine painters to be national cultural heritage. John would rather not even know whether his civilian motifs are also included.
I have an inclination for dirty, old, rusty cargo ships. But people don't really want to buy paintings of rusty, old cargo ships. Some of the classic yachts are beautiful, though. But there is something about a dirty, old cargo ship. They are magnificent with all their wounds from years of work.
In the meantime, John no longer sets foot on a ship due to his age, but he paints them with unbroken passion. Tournament day. The new boule balls are almost still warm, and Ombi is highly motivated. The pétanque community is like a big family to her, and everyone knows the brilliant player from Madagascar.
Ombi with heart.
He says if you don't win with these balls, you never win.
In the first game, Ombi has to play against one of the most experienced opponents.
Please get ready for the third game.
In pétanque, the winner is the player who places the ball closest to the piggy, as pétanque players call the small wooden target ball. Ombi's opponent is already 91 and still competes with the best.
It keeps me in shape.
How long have you been playing?
That's 85 years now. I started when I was 6 years old. Only my wife is not quite so enthusiastic because every day I play boule. I allow myself a little aperitif in the evening. In general, she leaves me my freedom, but she doesn't like it that much.
That's really lovely.
With the brand new balls, Amby really gets going and wins her first game.
Goes very well. A few girlfriends have already said they want balls like that too.
Hardly any wind, smooth water, the perfect day for cliff diving. If he weren't injured, Lulu would now be standing with Christophe at the jump-off point.
I'm happy for my students, but at the same time, it's a little sad that I can't jump. I could bite myself.
There are various disciplines in cliff diving. While Lulu jumps with headers from the greatest possible heights, Christophe, as an artistic jumper, is also interested in elegant figures. Concentration for 3 somersaults and a twist from 18 meters. Motivating music, energy drink, and bandages.
This is pretty high, 18 meters. At that height, you have to be very concentrated and go through the figures over and over again in your head, and then actually perform them.
A record attempt. Christophe has never dared to jump from this height before. And hopefully, his coach and idol will be back high on the cliff himself soon.
I really feel like jumping right back in at 30 meters, not below that. In my head, I go over everything again and again every day.
1, 2, 3.
30 meters. I'm not interested in less. A challenge. I will jump again. That's for sure. 100%.
Christophe is in position. The only thing missing is the mouth guard. Otherwise, the tongue is in danger on impact. His new record, 18 meters with highest elegance. In a few months, Lulu will also plunge back down into the deep blue of the Provence coast.